Hello everyone, welcome back to It's Time to Leave. It's time to leave. Sabo is still dead.
Yeah, actually no idea what's happened to him.
Yeah,
I would be. I would be
last time
concerned.
he was just didn't he like just forget or fall asleep or something like that?
So he was, yeah, he did say he wasn't feeling well, but I was gonna just say, honestly, we're just kind of we're not really interested enough to go and search for him.
Like, listen, after recording, I gotta like run an errand and like I gotta do stuff after this. I can't be bothered, man.
Look, it's the kind of thing where even if you had like he was lost in the woods, and we had like a GPS tracking device that like gave us exact coordinates, I still wouldn't,
That's a little much,
That's
honestly.
that's a lot of effort to go and rescue just Sabo.
Yeah, that's a little much. I don't really want to do that. Like, come on.
I choose to believe he's lost in the Arctic or something.
I don't know why, but just how I don't know what Sabo looks like, but just how I picture him in my head, just lost in the Arctic for some reason is really funny to me, and I don't know why.
I like picturing him having to fend off predators for food, but not like polar bears, of course. No, he's having to like fight a penguin for a fish.
You higher mammal. We're the only thing anybody remembers from these movies.
Wait, which movies?
The Madagascar movies.
Oh, I don't
Like
think I
the
ever saw
penguins are
them.
the only thing anybody remembers from those fucking movies.
I don't think I've ever seen them.
Yeah, you've seen the penguins.
I mean, I've seen the penguins in these.
As I mean, like no, but even with that, nobody fucking knows anything else, and that's fine. So, because who cares, honestly. So,
Not me.
dumb aside for future, for when inevitably we give the new Gundam to another pilot, should I start training Ro up, or should I just stick with it being Puru 2 like I've done on my own playthrough?
Might as well train up Ru, I like it. What's wrong with the Cubile?
I mean, nothing's wrong with the Cubile, but I mean, like, the new Gundam versus Puru versus Cubile. I mean, but also like Ro doesn't really have a robot.
Look, the safest place to have Puru is nowhere near the battlefield. We all know this.
Unless it's these games, they're allowed to live in these games.
No Puru
Sometimes.
has ever died not on the battlefield.
I got a feeling that's probably incorrect.
Pretty sure we've seen all of them die.
They made sure of that. They made sure to kill them all. Even the one who survived for a little bit.
Even the children.
That's why I said when they did Unicorn, they should have just let the one live, because they would have thrown everybody off, because everyone's like, oh yeah, she's gonna die because she's a Puru. Oh, she died. Yeah, that's what we thought. Throw everybody off, have her live. Kind of like with Leomon. Throw everybody off, have him live.
Yeah, well.
It's like Musashi. Throw everybody off, have him live.
You already did that. It's called New Robo.
Everyone forgot it. I like New Getter Robo.
Well, I prefer Benkei. Benkei has the advantage of not being dead.
Well, that's why Benkei fused himself with Musashi, so it wouldn't happen again.
They had the evolution where, like, haha, we have Musashi, and then it's like, no, oops, no, turns out it was actually Benkei all along.
Whoops.
Fooled you.
Fool you.
Turns out this version of Musashi died as an actual fucking newborn. And was replaced with was adopted and it was Benkei got adopted and then renamed to Musashi.
Which mech is Ro in right now? Does she have? Oh, she's in the real G's. Oh, poor girl. What can I give her? That isn't taken up. Okay, unfortunately, I need to have Foss still in the crossbone, not the crossbone, the F91. Because I still need her for certain things, for points. Oh wait, I think I already. No, it hasn't come up yet. The part where I need her for again. Ooh, is there anything spare that I could give her? I'm not gonna give her the crossbone. Though I rarely use Concita. can say. I don't know how to fucking say his name. The F91 protagonist.
Kincaid?
Yeah, I don't really use him that much. Because giving her a Jigen is just an insult. I mean, I could give her the Mark II. I guess I could give her the Crossbone for giggles. She is higher level than him, though I will need him at one point because they're going to force him on me at one point. So it's basically between Yakushiki, Mark II, and I guess the spare Crossbone, but it wouldn't really last.
Well, there you go then.
So which one do you think it should be?
Yakushiki.
Alright. I mean, the only person in there is Beecha, and who gives a fuck about him?
Exactly.
There we go. You can have a real G's and never be deployed, because who the fuck deploys you?
Sure, there's some diehard Double Zeta fan out there who always deploys all the Double Zeta crew.
I mean, I like Double Zeta, but not that much. Alright, let's go to the next map. I'm gonna pull Ro out for this deployment to give her some experience for when the new becomes a thing. Oh, this is the Visitor X scenario.
Oh, yeah. Look, it's all these characters that Dan doesn't know.
Yeah, exactly, because I never played this game and probably won't. I just don't have an interest in it, if I'm gonna be honest. The only thing that would kind of make me want to play is the Mazin Kaiser existing, but like, eh.
Sure, at that point you just get 30.
Yeah. Which I do want to get 30. 30 has more stuff in it that I like, even though it still does also have Code Geass. But it has a lot of things I like in it. It also has Victory Gundam for some unholy reason.
It's not because Victory Gundam's just not been done for so long. You know, might as well do a Gundam that hasn't been used in forever.
I guess, but I like how most people's reaction is why. Most people are just like, why did you bring it back? At least Code Geass I understand more, to be honest. I don't like it, but it's popular.
Well, also because Code Geass had a movie semi-recently.
But even if it didn't, I'd at least understand it, because people do like Code Geass. Like I said, even if I don't, people like it.
I'm not actually sure if 30 is the first one to do the movie. I think it is. I think X was just season 2. But
yeah, either way, I do want to play. I do want to get 30 at some point. I want to get the DLC, which then will make it so I have 3 new Gundams, which is kind of hilarious. Well, 3 because high new, you know, new, mass-produced, real high, real new, and then high.
I'll tell you this: you won't use them once you get new. You won't use the mass-produced ever.
I mean, I could just throw it on a pilot, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to use you occasionally. Or
yeah, but then you could just give them like, I mean, bearing in mind you'll still have the RX-782, which is arguably better.
Wait, the RX-782 is better than the new?
Yeah, mass-produced new.
That's depressing.
You also have the narrative Gundam, or the narrative Gundam you can give to someone, and that's pretty solid. And then there's like a billion fucking Victory Gundams. Because you get 2 V Gundam, 2 of the burst, whatever they're called, and then you get V dashes, and then 2 actual and then 2 V2s. So you have plenty of options for to give people Gundams that aren't the mass produced. Well, it's also mostly the RX-782 just has more attacks as well. So
well, yeah, more attacks is usually a thing that gives a robot an edge. That's unfortunately one of the reasons why, if I find something that's decent to throw one of the Cubalate pilots into that has more attacks, I will. Like, I put Haman in the Sazabi, because I was wrong. For some reason, I couldn't find it on the menu, but Haman can be put into the Sazabi. So, I did do that. So, in my own playthrough, she's piloting the Sazabi while Char's staying in his Nightingale.
Good old Nightingale.
I know I won for... I do think I like the Sazabi more, but, I do like the Nightingale, but I have one friend who fucking hates the Nightingale.
Well, why?
I don't like how it looks.
I mean, fair enough, I guess.
Okay, should I do protagonist as a girl or a guy? Which do you want?
girl.
Okay. I was gonna say, you played the game, not me, so I don't really have a stake in this.
Might as well do Amari. I don't remember the man's name.
But,
But Zelgard's cool.
yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything, like... There's nothing really going on right now, either, too. I know the Game Awards are happening tonight, but I don't really even care. Like, I know it's happening just because I saw it, like, on social media before I started recording. I was like, oh, okay. It's one of those ones where, like, when we looked at it, like, there's only one thing that could be possibly funny, and that's if they give Cyberpunk one of the awards, which they might. I don't know.
I mean, the only mildly interesting thing about it for me is that there'll be some announcement there, because there always is.
Yeah.
And will that announcement be good or not? Kind of leaning towards an announcement of, we won't give a shit, but you know, you never know. You never know. It could be they announce like Super Robot Wars 31.
But it's like one of those things where, like the most interesting thing that happened with the Game Awards was just the whole thing where they were really dragging their feet when it came to Activision Blizzard, and then people pointing out that they had that like their board has the Game Awards board has like one of their management position people on there.
Yeah, what was that about them and Activision Blizzard?
Oh, they were dragging their feet on denouncing their treatment of their workers and everything.
Oh.
They first said they weren't going to comment, and then they kind of like drugged their feet and goes, "Yeah, we don't accept any kind of harassment. Yeah, this is no place for it. So you're gonna get rid of the guy on your board, right?"
Wait,
no!
slower to deal. Wow, actually slower to deal with it than Activision Blizzard themselves. That's hilarious.
That's implying that Activision Blizzard's actually doing anything.
It's the kind of weird thing where, because of the way that like the company's structured, is that I've mentioned before, is that a lot of it is very much like almost independent teams. So you do have like this weird thing where some teams are like, oh yeah, we've already like cleared out these people, and we've replaced them, who are like actively trying to do things, and then other teams that are very much dragging their heels, not doing anything. It's weird.
But
because I know Hearthstone, for instance, had like a mass thing where they got rid of like their community manager and replaced him. It was apparently a massive shit.
But one thing I want to say for the record that is probably the funniest thing about it. So, like, for years I've made the quip about how it's, you know, it's the Western AAA industry jerking itself off. I've said that for years, not knowing that literally the board was just filled with them. I'm not surprised. I just kept making that joke, being like, hey, I see a pattern here, and then making a quip about it. I didn't actually, like, you know, spend the time to know about the board. I only know because other people spent the time after the Activision stuff. And I just kind of found that funny.
Or even if you didn't know that, you also have to take into account whatever it is, it's the kind of issue of like, yeah, they're almost incentivized to favor certain groups, because it's kind of like the old problem of like YouTubers and streamers being taken to these like sponsored events where they're technically not bribed. Like technically, there is no bribery, but it is bribery.
Is what they do with a lot of journos, where they're given basically incentives to give positive reviews and shit. They're not actively paid, but they're incentivized.
But they are paid.
They're not paid in the same. They're paid in the same way like pachinko is gambling, or not gambling, quote quote. We just have this, you just get these little prizes, and there happens to be this shop next door that'll just take those and give you money. Weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's...
Hey, you know what? It could be worse, though, with Pachinko. At least when Pachinko, if you win, the Pachinko parlors don't throw up their fucking hands and go, alright, we're gonna go talk to Congress to make sure that you can't play anymore.
You're not wrong!
You did exactly what we did, and we don't like that, so we want to make it so you can't play at our table. It's the most childish fucking thing I think I've ever seen, like, grown men do, unironically.
God,
Like-
my loadout here today is weird. Sorry to interrupt. I just want to tell you who all I decided to pop out because I'm trying to get some people leveled up using the secret encounter. So I do have my staples, like, you know, my Domons, my Norikohos, my Sagiri, and my Ryoma, and my Guy, because you can't not deploy those. I just can't. I can't not deploy them. But because of, and also Allenby as at least one. Oh god, I don't have any of the rare Earth people here. Hold on. Oh, I gotta not train up one of them then. Fuck. I guess. Oh wait, which one did I fucking deploy?
I mean, bearing in mind you are going to have like some pretty high level units that you're going to have temporarily for this stage in the X crew anyway. You could probably afford to not have like the AF people for once.
Yeah, that's true. And they get like a power up in the near future too, anyway. But yeah, who I'm sorting is them, Fa in the F91, because I do need her for a thing in the very near future. Akito, because I will need him soon. Let's see here. Chiriko, who I rarely use, but there's a map mission where I'm going to need him in the near future, so I want to make him at least a little better for when that happens. And Ro, so she can eventually inherit the high Gundam, not the high no, the new Gundam. I keep doing that.
It's almost like it has a very similar name.
But yeah, with the awards thing, yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. It was just, for me, funny, like, making that quip for years, and then, I didn't even realize I was hitting a bullseye.
I mean, yeah, honestly, and granted, I think most people this year, especially, have not given much of a crap about the Game Awards. Probably because it's like, well, for most normies, what games actually came out.
Yeah, most of the good games were like the stuff I play. And I also, even this year for me, like when I do my own like games of the year thing, I've got to think of what the 10 are, but like a couple, like 2 of them at least are going to be from like a year ago, and that's at minimum. There's gonna be probably more than that. My game of the year will be from this year, but yeah, it's one of those kind of years too. And and also because of money stuff, I've been like going into my backlog and playing shit that I've just been sitting on for so long.
Unless something crazy comes out in like the next 3 weeks or whatever, or however long we've got left. It's going to be Super Robot Wars 30 is my game of the year.
That's fair. Mine is going to be Pathfinder.
I'm not sure where I'm going to put stuff like Resident Evil 8, because it's like, on the one hand, yeah, it is technically a good game, but on the other hand, I also just get unreasonably angry playing it.
Like
not unlike the game itself. Like I said, the gameplay itself is fine, but I'm just angry because it's like, why is this a Resident Evil game? Why are you all like this? Like, I guess I'm just not distracted enough by giant vampire mummy milkers or whatever the internet is called clamoring for these days.
We spent more of our time when we were talking about it, just poking fun at like the dumb little things that they were doing that like nobody really talks about.
Well, people don't talk about it because most people play the games aren't really like... How do I say this without sounding like a cunt? I'm not going to say they're not Resident Evil fans, but I'm going to say they're the kinds of people who are Resident Evil fans because they've played like 4 and 5, and then remakes of 1 and 2.
Yeah, well, 1 and 2, and that's generous. Probably only like 2 and 3.
And this is and I mention this because, you know, obviously everyone likes RE4 because of its quote-unquote campy. It's quite intentional campiness, which I always think is a bit of a suspect thing to say because I'm not entirely convinced it is intentional.
Oh, I can actually talk about this. This is a fun thing that I like talking about. So, the campy writing was by the Western localization exclusively. It was very dry in its original Japanese. Like, it was very much taking itself very seriously. So, yeah, I don't know what else to say other than it's fucking yeah. It's just not. It was never really intended to be campy.
But at the end of the day, it's like not to sort of go too far off topic, but like Resident Evil is a game series that has always done its best work in its gameplay, and the plot is something to just be sneered at. So I mean, people who try and then sit and tell me that like, oh, Resident Evil 7 and 8 are really deep plots, and Ethan's just this really compelling character. I'm like, stop fucking lying. Just like the game because you like the game. Don't try and pretend there is much more to this because it's fucking Resident Evil. The plot is always dog shit. It's always been dog shit. Even from the fucking like first fucking game, it's been and then I guess there's just a secret lab under this base where they have giant mutant zombie sharks. And
I love Resident Evil. Resident Evil is like totally though like B grade stupid at best.
That's why I say what's made Resident Evil always stand out has always been its gameplay. The plot and characters are just stuff that people have latched onto because for some reason people have this weird idea that if they like something, they have to like everything about it.
Yeah, so that's a thing too. Like, what was it? Where I was called I poke fun at like Dragon Ball. I absolutely adore Dragon Ball, and I had this thing where people were like, "Oh yeah, you're one of those people who, I can't basically one of those people who like hates on it," and I'm like, no, I love it, but I can point at things that I think are stupid or wrong with it. I still absolutely love it, and I understand it to the point where I'm like, I know what that the creator even has admitted. I'm just bullshitting, and I'm fine with that. I make fun of it, but I'm fine with it. But like, some will get really pissy when you joke about, Dragon Ball being, well, to be blunt, Dragon Ball.
As I said, it's fine to like things, but one of the most important things about liking things is to appreciate that, yeah, there are some things that are always going to be questionable to other people, and maybe it's okay to not like every aspect of something. Like, I would say you and I both have a pretty healthier love for Spider-Man, but we don't love all versions of Spider-Man. We're not going to get into that discussion again, but we're just going to make that point, is that, hey, you can like the overall idea of something without liking every iteration, every concept and everything about it. It's like
I like Ninja Turtles. I don't like every version of the Ninja Turtles.
I don't even like every Ninja Turtle.
Well, you mean Michelangelo's not your favorite?
No.
I knew he wasn't. You didn't even need to tell me. I just instinctively knew it was Michelangelo. Just on instinct.
Look, I'm gonna say Leonardo, Raphael. Yeah, those are my favorites. And how can you not like Donatello when he's, a fucking machinophile?
Yeah.
He sticks his turtle penis inside something. And no, I'm not gonna go and look up to see what a turtle penis actually does look like.
Fuck. But, Donatello's my favorite one, as you fucking talk about his penis.
Actually, who probably is everyone's least favorite? Penis.
Yeah. I mean, law of averages, you'll find at least one deranged motherfucker who will be like, that one's my favorite.
Yeah, well, they're probably too busy. Enjoying all that Venus fan art. I'm sure doesn't exist.
By the way, I right away, even though I've never played this game, I right away knew that Masaki was the non-NP protagonist thing for this game because I like his design. I like his art style, so I was like, oh, you're definitely not from the game.
Oh, Masaki, no, he's literally the first original character Banpresto made.
That makes
sense.
Him and
good old Cybaster.
But, unfortunately, Sabo's not here to scream, but I'm pretty sure if you listen closely somewhere, you can probably hear him screaming.
He's probably screaming. He's probably screaming at that penguin that's just waddled off with his fish.
But yeah, as I was saying, like when I saw how his art style and how very different it was, and I was like, wow, I like this art style. I was like, yeah, you're definitely the protagonist. One of the protagonist choices is X, because I'd probably buy the game.
That's good. Well, that's because he's by the old character designer they had. I can't remember his name.
I mean, the character designs for the original cast and T are really good. I like them a lot.
I mean, I'm pretty sure B, X, and T have the same designer.
No. It could be them just doing different art styles, but they look very different from each other. Because V is the one where they have those weird lips. This is the one where everything looks overly saturated. And then T is where they kind of look like a bit of like late 90s, early 2000s style before they started doing those fucking avocado heads. Before the downcoming.
Just looking.
Let me attack those. Let me weaken them with Domon before I have her run up on it.
And decided, just boot up the Wikipedia articles for V and T, and like one of them lists like artists, and then another one of the articles then doesn't. So, thanks Wikipedia. No, this is why no one's giving you those £2 donations you're always asking for.
Come on, pay up, bitch!
Look, we all agree information should be free, but freedom isn't free. So if you're not going to pay your $1.05, who will?
Well, you see, freedom is just another word for nothing left to lose. I forgot Ro actually had like a cut in there. I actually stopped on the animation because I was talking, and then Ro's face showed up, and I was like, oh, they actually gave her a cut in.
Oh yeah, I guess we did. I guess we did actually forget something did happen. Spider-Verse 2 got a trailer finally.
Oh yeah, it looks really good. I'm excited for it.
It looks interesting. I'm gonna wait and see more. I'm kind of like, yeah, I didn't think we need more of like Miles and Gwen.
I like them, so I'm fine.
I mean, they're fine. They're fine, I'm sure. I was just kind of hoping it would be more of like okay, we've done that, so let's see some other characters out there.
I think we're going to, but they're kind of like the protagonists of it.
Well, it should have been the one with the giant robot.
Oh, he's gonna be in it. I'm pretty. Sure.
Does Miles have a giant robot? No, so he belongs in the fucking trash.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest. He's gonna be in there.
Well, I've decided that until like the world joins my point of view, is I'm just going to declare everything that doesn't have a giant robot immediately trash. Citizen Kane, trash. The Godfather, trash. Lord of the Rings, I don't see no fucking mechs, trash.
Was there a mech in Devil May Cry 5?
Yeah.
Shit.
Because technically Trish is strapped in one. As the boss, as the Baltic Black Knight.
Ah, shit. Actually, you know what? There are robots and mechs in one of the dungeons in Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, so I guess it... Shit!
Alright, it's not trash. It's not immediately in the trash can. I mean, just because you have robots doesn't mean you don't go in the trash can eventually. But if you don't have robots, then it's just who gives a shit, you're in the trash can.
Also, even in Pathfinder lore, there are mechs because a spaceship crashed on Galarian years ago. So they're rare, but mechs exist.
There you go then. Say it's saved from the trash can.
There's even rules in first edition for building mechs.
I forget if I mentioned it, but so last week when I reminded you how the Power Rangers of the Goldar look in that 2017 movie,
yeah.
I was forced to get onto an article as I was searching for that image, and the article was like, here's like things you would like if you like mechs. And I was like, you know what, I'll entertain this. And I looked it through and like, well, the fucking top result of if you like Pacific Rim, you might also like Avengers 2. And I was like, really? Really? Because of like the one scene with the Hulkbuster, really? Fuck you. Fuck you! Hate!
I have secondhand hatred.
God, Avatar, fucking James Cameron's movie would be closer because that at least has robot suits fighting animals.
I mean, what was it? Me liking robots is to the point where I remember my one friend's like, I don't know what to gift him for his birthday. Went through my Steam wish list and saw one game with giant robots and went, that one.
Gimme.
Like, no, they went through mine and were like, hey, that has a giant robot in it. He probably would want that here. Which is actually one of the games I'm going to be playing soon, because it was on my backlog, because I got it last year, got it before I got my computer that I have now, and my old computer wasn't quite strong enough where the video card got quite loud consistently. I don't mean like in small bursts where it'd be loud in certain areas, I mean turn on the game. Which, I mean, like, some games, like, there'll be, like, bits where it's a bit loud, but I don't like it when it gets loud for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, that's just straining the damn thing. But I'm also the guy who will constantly scream at people, stop fucking overclocking your computers, you goddamn idiots.
But how can they run Crysis?
Easily, don't.
No, this is the kind of thing that everyone always made a big deal. Can it run Crysis? No one ever asked, should you run Crysis?
They always say, can you, but should.
But they, in the words of Jeff Goldblum, they never stop to ask if they should.
It's a chaos theory.
I love that Ian Malcolm is the scientist, or a mathematician, I guess, because he's not even really a scientist. A mathematician who makes a prediction, and like, even though the prediction itself is incredibly faulty from like just pure logic and mathematical sense, he's right. So it's like, you're right, but you shouldn't be right.
You're right by accident.
Yeah. And also, it's like, what fucking bollocks thing to say? Well, there'll be some unexpected, unexplained things that will go wrong at some point. And it's like, okay, yeah, I guess.
Fucking Nostradamus in this bitch.
It's like, you could say that about any place. It's like, yeah, there might something go wrong, and then when a child falls into a gorilla enclosure, you can then say, I was right. Something went wrong, eventually.
I told you! I knew it! It's like, honestly, I believe that's how most of the people are like, yeah, the world's gonna end, it's happening, guys. I believe most of them just run on that kind of, like, energy where they're just like, if I say it enough times, eventually it'll actually end, and then I could be like, I was right!
You know, I had an interesting conversation with someone where I came to the realization that on some level I kind of sympathise with people who want to just destroy the world. No, not for any reason other than like I realised that on some level, if you're the person who destroys the world, then for even the briefest of moments, you are in essence the most special and important person in the world, even if it is for like milliseconds, because, well, I mean, no one else is destroying the world. You know what? That's kind of a goal worth achieving. Of like out of 7 billion people, you are number one, even for brief moments. Flying higher than most people will ever fly. So, you know, I endorse trying to destroy the world now.
So, question for the thumbnail, for this. Should I give it to the actual protagonist of X, or should I give it to the cool guy?
Yeah, well, because it would be giving it to Misaki, I say fuck no.
You don't like him that much, I take?
No.
Oh. What if instead I gave it to Ro rather than either of them, just because I was surprised that she had a cut-in?
Yeah, sure, but... just as long as Misaki gets nothing.
You're just like, I don't care what you do, Dan, as long as he isn't in it.
Yeah, basically.
So, like, you would be fine with it, but if, like, if I became a smartass, grabbed, like, an early sprite of him and threw it in the corner really small, you'd be fucking infuriated.
I mean, I wouldn't be infuriated, it'd just be, I'd just be more impressed that you actually went to the effort to do very little. Or you went to all that effort for very little payoff.
Because you wouldn't even tell me that you saw it. You would just be like, I'm not telling him.
If I remember to look at the thumbnail. So occasionally I'll be like, oh, Dan's made an upload. Well, I could watch it and double the view counts, but I lived that, and also that would then mean that when people, it would mean I have the opportunity of listening back to what I said, so then I wouldn't be as surprised when people quote me of the horrible things I've said. I'm at that point where people do just repeat things that I've said back to me, and I'm like, yeah, you know, well, I think I'd probably.
Oh yeah, I remember we had this conversation before. You're just like, we could probably gaslight you into like shit you didn't actually say.
Problem is I think I've said so much at this point. I probably have said some variation of it.
Exactly.
I mean, I have just basically declared 99% of all media trash. For the simple reason that it doesn't have a robot in it.
It's true, you did.
So, I'm sorry, everyone on the internet who I've just said that your favourite thing is trash. Actually, I'm not sorry. Your favourite thing is trash because it doesn't have a mech in it.
You know what?
Come back.
You know what? Ray Earth was made better. It was already good, but it was made better with the inclusion of giant robots.
Exactly. It's a simple way to improve everything.
The best isekais were all the ones with mechs.
But remarkably, no one else has hit upon this. What fools they are!
They don't put robots in them because they fear.
What if? Hey, you like Trigun, right? What if we had Trigun, but also robots?
I mean, Gunnex Sword is cool.
Exactly.
That was the wrong button. I meant to hit Bullseye.
Hey, you like Space Battleship Yamato, right? What if we had that, but we also had mechs in it, and you get Nadesco?
It's true. That is pretty close to Nadesco. Not exactly, but it's close.
Yeah, it's the same amount of, like, namby-pamby. Oh, look at all of our feelings. But, I mean...
Spirits. Why don't I use one of his spirits and see if Judo just fucking murks these two idiots. Yep, he'll just murk them this way. And I checked. I didn't even... I checked. Amuro is not in the way. Actually, I didn't even deploy Amuro this time. So he can't get blown up by it.
I'm sure we'll find some way.
Some way to repeat the tragedy of blowing up the new Gundam. I swear to God, if like somehow it happens again, but it only happens to specifically the new Gundam, I'm just gonna declare it cursed and just never deploy it.
And it's gonna get a bit awkward if we get like a COVID variant that's like classed as the new variant.
Oh God! And I'm not gonna say what my brain said because it's an Amuro line involving that. I'm not gonna fucking say it. It works too perfectly, and I hate it.
Coward.
Fine. This new variant isn't just for show.
Oh, well, let's see if it does happen. I'm kind of hoping we get the Moo variant and everyone confuses that for Mad Cow.
I don't think most people remember Mad Cow. I remember it, because I remember there was a joke on that. There was this joke fucking novelty toy at this store about Mad Cow. It was a Mad Cow plush toy that when you would like push the thing, it would start like gyrating violently and like laughing hysterically while saying moo, moo, moo. Get it? It's the Mad Cow.
Yeah, but the horrifying thing is, we might only just be on the cusp of like discovering any of the long-standing effects of Mad Cow on our like the industry. So it could happen that an entire like generation of us are just poisoned and we don't know it yet.
Possible.
So you know that's something to look forward to, everyone.
Fun in Clementon Park. What a fun thing to say to the backdrop of Noriko blowing up a motherfucker. Oh, this fight's actually almost over. This is a really short one.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. These, and it's the same with the V1. These exist basically to just go, hey, look, guys, the people that you were last time.
It would be cool if you got to just use them, but some of them would be broken.
I mean, not especially broken. I don't think they'd be broken. It just depends on like what stage you get them.
Right.
Also, you could like pretty easily like adjust. Bearing in mind, like a massive part of the reason why why protagonist units are so broken is because you're incentivized to upgrade them a lot, and also to give them the best power parts because, well,
you're gonna have them in most maps.
Like 99% of the maps, yeah, you can guarantee you'll have the protagonist. This is the same reason why, like, in JRPGs, your best option is actually to buff up protagonists because, well, they're the only guaranteed party members.
Yeah. Especially if you're playing one of those games where a party member is, like, dropped in and out because of events in the story, or if you're playing ones where there's a traitor character.
Yeah.
Which a lot of RPGs like doing that. They like having the traitor.
Well, it's because it's the best way to. It's the best way to then have, like, the Aerith kind of surprise twist of your party isn't fixed, but without having to do the downside of permanently getting rid of or removing a character from the story.
Sometimes they
gameplay.
do, sometimes they don't. Because I know Breath of Fire. Well, Breath of Fire did with Tipo. Because Tipo, you lose them early on, you never get them back.
Yeah, but they also, yeah. But then I guess the other thing is it's also based off of how unique they make those characters. Because it's like Tipo was unique, and he's replaced by Nina, who basically does everything Tipo did, but better.
Because Tipo was like a mix between Nina and Ryu, and
he's effectively meant to be like your mage.
And his outside combat ability was then replaced by the Onion, because he can do that same thing.
Yeah, but I just meant that, like, Tipo's main thing was that he was your mage, while Ray was your damage, and then you get Gar and Nina, and you also get Momo. So you get,
Momo is the I won't hit often, but when I do, when I do.
Also, the other thing is after that you get Dragon Form, so Ryu becomes your damage actually.
And eventually you get Ray back, who gets the whole Berserker form. And
good old
add that and just have that with command, and you can just have Ray do whatever you want as if he's just a regular party member.
Or, you just give you stick that one ability that basically forces Were Tiger to attack one enemy.
Command.
Yeah. Oh, right, it was command. Right.
The thing I just said.
Yeah. So I always remember that was a cheaper way to use Kaiser form.
If you didn't want to do the other way, is that the funniest party setup is Nina with command, those two both transformed, and Nina just going, hit him.
That guy, get him.
Okay, boys, we'll get him, we got it, boys.
Maybe one day Capcom will remember it has Breath of Fire as an IP. I kind of doubt it.
No, I don't think so. Especially with how certain companies like to try to either kill JRPGs or pretend they don't exist.
Maybe
or you have Square, where it's like where you can tell there's an internal struggle in the background of them fighting to keep RPGs around or not.
Maybe Capcom will decide to get in on this platform fighter trend.
Maybe, I don't know.
And they'll do Capcom multiverses.
I mean, if they make a good one, I'd play it. They have a lot of IPs that I like that they just don't use.
Yeah. We're seemingly past the days of having just reliable Capcom fighting games. Man, remember Darkstalkers?
Remember Project Justice?
Remember Darkstalkers that were more than 3 characters?
I do, but nobody else does. I don't even really... the 3 that people always are... Well, I do like BB Hood, because that's one of the 3. But I don't really care about Felicia or Morgan. Felicia, I think, is lame, honestly. Morgan's only cool because of the fact that she hijacked the series, and I think that's fucking funny.
I mean, I get why Dimitri doesn't get into modern stuff, because to do Midnight Bliss requires effort.
It's true.
You have to do, like, you have to do extra modeling. It's insane.
Capcom hates that.
What about John? But you could have had John Talbot. Could have had Lord Raptor.
especially Lord Raptor. Even Lele, that as I guess you can say is the number 4 one that people remember, is still cooler than the 1 and 2. Morgan only gets a pass because of the whole just hilarity of hijacking a series that was originally Dimitri's.
Well, I'd have said the 3 were Morrigan, Felicia, and Hysenka just because they were in Marvel 3, and Marvel 3 was like the last sort of major game.
I mean, 2 had Felicia, Morrigan, and Valletta, as well as BB Hood, as well as
nobody played them in 2.
People played
You only have very specific amount of characters you play in Marvel 2.
I mean, same thing with 3 if we're gonna go down this fucking road.
3 actually, I think 3 weirdly does have more viable top level people than 2 does, but that's only because That's also because a lot of 2 is like built off of broken stuff, as is 3. But I think 3 has slightly more broken stuff for individual characters.
I like how I haven't deployed Ryoko in ages, but because of the way like the pilot kill thing has gone, Ryoko is like on the cusp of becoming an ace.
I mean, you know, an ace pilot is literally only meant to be in real life like 5 kills.
Oh yeah, I know.
It's kind of crazy that they're like, yeah, these guys have got 60 kills. They got 59 kills. Nah, fucking trash.
Then they need 50, so 49 is like, you're not quite an ace. Kill one more person. Just gotta kill one more. And then maybe we'll consider you an ace. It's even funnier when certain characters are already canonically an ace pilot.
Yeah. But, you know, game mechanics, you know, what could you do?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, if it was 5 kills like in real life, literally, characters would just pop in and be like, hey, by the way, I'm an ace. Hey, by the way, I'm an ace. Hey, by the way.
Fucking friend of mine showed me a trailer for a Pinocchio-themed Soulsborne game that's coming out, and I'm like, why the fuck are we getting Pinocchio Soulsborne before we get Mech Soulsborne, you fucking hacks?
Because mechs are harder for them to make, and they're scared.
They're not harder to make, you just, if anything, it's easy. It should be easier because you can have intentionally blockier textures.
Not only that, but it'd be easier to even write around the whole dumb, like, resurrection mechanic, because it's a fucking robot.
Yeah, you just redeploy it, rebuild it.
We built it again. But, you know, it's a little bit banged up because we needed cheaper parts. You gotta get some of the scraps from the old unit back, okay? And there you go,
Yeah,
you get that, and it's like, oh good, your health's back to normal.
I just can't understand why people are just such cowards. Why doesn't anyone else realize the gloriousness of mechs? We should educate them, and if the education doesn't work, then we slaughter them. we thin out the gene pool until we promote only those bloodlines loyal to mechs.
Jesus Christ! So, what I'm gonna do for this recording is, because we're at 48, and there's no way in hell a whole map's gonna fit. Right now, I'm just letting the cutscene play, and then I'm gonna do an interim save. Basically, the next time we play, it'll just be start at the fight, basically.
Hooray!
Does it kind of let you know? But yeah, no, there should be more mechs and stuff. Like, you know, guess what? A Serious Sam 4, really good. You know what it has in it?
Sam?
Well, yes, but do you know what else it has in it?
Serious things?
No, that's actually the joke. It's not a very serious game. But do you know what else Serious Sam 4 has?
False advertising, then, if it's not very serious.
A mech.
Oh.
In fact, the first one you get is called the Pope Mobile. And it's just a giant robot, and it's got, like, when it opens up, it has, like, the cross thing and shit. And it's the new Pope Mobile.
Thanks, Jesus.
So, yeah, and also the final boss fight, the final phase of the final boss fight, you get a mech to fight it. One of the stages, you get to travel across the countryside in a mech, crushing all of the monsters around you.
Neat.
There's also a Combine Harvester section too, which is also really fun, and when you're riding it, it plays like country banjo music.
Look, a Combine Harvester can only be fun if it actually combines.
But, so yeah, Serious Sam 4, really good game, also has a mech. Just saying. It's also one of my favorite entries. Oh, I forgot. This is where I had to ask a question. Sabo's not here, so you veto his vote. Team up with Char, Haman, or Independent?
I think Independent gets you points from both of them.
Yeah, one will get you negative points. If you go with either one, you'll get negative on the other one, but a bunch of positive for the other.
Then just I'd say, play the field. I'm pretty sure you've got enough Char and Haman points to get them both.
Oh yeah, no, I do.
So fuck them, beat the shit out of them until they realise that we are correct and they are wrong.
Beat the shit out of them until I can give Haman the Sazabi. But, I mean, that's what I figured it was going to be, but I wanted to ask. But yeah, mechs make everything cooler. I'm still waiting for Ace Combat to finally pull the trigger on just putting giant robots in. It's going to happen.
Well, they've probably pulled trigger because he's not going to be in the next game. Oh.
It's a pun!
I guess minor aside, because obviously we're mentioning Sabo, so I was like, I'm just going to go see, I'm going to think about things to mention about the Arctic, and I was just kind of wondering, could you beat a narwhal in a fight? Because on the one hand, they're whales, and whales are dumb, but on the other hand, they do have the evolutionary advantage of having a horn.
Well, also, if I want to talk about them as in terms of their nature and something that they've accomplished as a species, they did beat Cthulhu in a fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is this just gonna be that whole song of this fucking ancient YouTube, this ancient internet joke?
My boomer humor.
Yeah.
My fucking boomer humor. It's like
it's proper boomer humor. I bet people going up fucking storming the beach to Normandy were singing narwhals swimming in the ocean.
They might have been.
Fucking narwhals, man.
Like an underwater unicorn.
I reckon I could beat a narwhal, I
don't know.
I'm on land, they're on sea, I've already won.
I don't know. Also, I've got Ace.
Nice. Also, all I'd have to do is just increase pollution, and they're fucked. So is everyone else, but a small price to pay to defeat one narwhal, I think.
It might be what it takes. The only problem is, there's still going to be more narwhals.
Well, I don't know why I've just decided fuck narwhals, but they knew what they were in for.
Yeah, you kind of just randomly just like, yeah, you know what, narwhals, fuck them.
Yeah, bollocks to them. Well, I've already decided that I hate penguins. This is stupid.
They were like the meme animal when we were teenagers.
They still kind of are. Everyone's
they weren't for a bit, and they came back as the meme animal because of Madagascar memes. Like,
everyone's like, oh, aren't they cute? And I'm like, no, they're a stupid animal. They're a bird that cannot fly, but unlike other flightless birds, haven't developed to be fucking terrifying, like ostriches.
Or emus.
Yeah.
I mean, emus won a war.
Can penguins defeat the entire Australian army? Well, maybe. So, we'll have to test that, actually. Penguin Wars.
Send them to Australia, see how they do.
Yeah. Or what better yet, send the Australians to the Arctic. Either way, whoever wins, well, we all still win because they're trapped in the fucking frozen wasteland.
Down in the trenches, the penguins, guys. It's making, I don't know why. Now I'm thinking of like Medi said that they wanted to make like a crime movie, but it would basically be like the cops be written like crime noir, and the like the mafia be written like the Madagascar penguins.
That's just it just sounds like Metal Gear, to be honest. It just wants to make Metal Gear again. I know Medi's game, and it's Metal Gear.
Fuck.
It's time to leave.
Not yet.
Damn.
I want to do the map, the cutscene for the map first.
Oh.
So that way we can just like boot it up ahead, since this is like kind of cutting in a weird part. But yeah, I mean my preferred meme animal is squirrel. I love squirrels. They're silly animals. I enjoy them.
I saw a squirrel the other day, which I thought was amazing because I didn't think any lived like nearby me, but I guess they do.
They're adapting. They're learning. They're coming for your nuts.
Depends on the color, actually.
They're coming for your nuts.
No, they're too busy fighting their own fucking war. Do you not know about that?
No, I know. You told me about this before.
Yeah.
Because of like because of like the fucking territory shit.
Yeah.
Squirrels are fun. Squirrels are funny because like you get one squirrel, not much noise. Maybe like 3 squirrels, maybe a little bit more noise. You get a whole pack of them, and they're the loudest motherfuckers on the planet. I remember just one day there was just like a pack of them just running around outside, running around like the cars, and I was just like, running around the car, and I was just like, wait, huh? Because I just heard all this noise, I'm like, what the fuck is that? I look out the window, and there's just a fuck ton of squirrels. I actually only really recently learned that, like, that weird, like, rant, rant, rant noise that I always just thought was some weird bird. It's just a squirrel. The squirrels make weird barking noises. Squirrels are weird.
Yeah. You ever heard foxes make... Have you ever heard foxes, like, yelp?
Oh yeah, they make weird noises too.
Foxes are stupid.
I like
them. Definitely not fantastic.
I like them.
I don't, because all they fucking do is they just sit there off stage and shine you. And it's not even what ammo's actually called, it's Reflector. But they all say, shine, shine, shine. It's like, fuck off, why don't you play something else? Why does everyone complain that Falcon is boring in Melee? Because they say, oh, but he only does the same 3 moves. It's like, everyone else only does the same 3 moves in Melee. That's the fucking point!
They're prejudiced against birds.
It is a weird thing I noticed where everyone's like, oh, I hate Falcon because he just does the same thing and all Falcon mains get hype. And it's like, what about Fox? What about fucking Fox and Falco and like Jigglypuff? You can't sit there and bitch that Falcon is unhype and then try and pretend that any other top tier Melee character is hype. Oh yeah, fucking Jigglypuff camps the stage for like 8 fucking minutes. Yeah, it's real hype.
It's the most hype thing ever. But yeah, that's where we'll call it because I got to the map spend.
Oh, of course you cut it as we're bitching about Melee.
I mean, I don't have anything else to add. I've made fun of Melee enough. Melee feels like a broken bicycle. Crusted.
Oh, I thought you meant because everyone had a ride.
I don't get it.
The thing that people used to say about women who were promiscuous, that they were the village bicycle because everyone's ridden her.
Yeah, but nobody plays Melee anymore other than the people who don't wash themselves anymore.
So yeah, a lot of people actually. That's why they're called the unwashed masses, Dan!
Nah, more people still play like the newer version of Smash. Well, just like a bunch of angry people still playing Melee. Because it has their favorite glitch they played on their factory defect controller.
It's time to leave.
It's time to leave.